So let's see today's dal recipe. Now here I've taken 1 cup of cooked dal. I'll explain to you how I cook the dal. Then I have 1 medium onion chopped fine, 1 medium tomato chopped fine. This is about 1/4 cup of fresh coriander leaves chopped fine, 2 light green chilies chopped fine. These are about 4 cloves of garlic chopped fine, a few curry leaves, say about 7 to 8 curry leaves. You can keep them whole or chop them, and 1 inch of ginger chopped fine. Now I've taken a pan and I've heated about 1 tablespoon of oil in the pan. And once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, also known as mohri or rai. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, we're going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera, followed by half a teaspoon each of asafoetida or hinga and turmeric powder or haldi. Next, we're going to add the ginger that we've chopped fine. You can even add it grated, the curry leaves, as well as the garlic. Now fry the ginger and of course the green chilies too. And we're going to fry all of this really well so that it flavors the oil well, as well as the rawness of the ginger and the garlic goes away. Now for my dal, what I did is I took 1 cup of toor dal, washed it well, kept it in about 3 cups of water for about 15 minutes, and then I pressure cooked it for 1 whistle on high and for about 5 to 10 minutes, 10 minutes exactly on a simmer. Okay, now we're going to add 1 medium chopped onion fine, 1 medium onion chopped fine, and we're going to fry the onion really well. So once the cooker gets nice and comes to room temperature, you can take out the dal and then just use a wooden whisk or a regular whisk that you have at home and just whisk the dal till you get a nice smooth consistency. So now we're going to cover and cook all of this bagar till the onions become nice and soft. Now we're going to add the tomato that we had chopped fine, and we're going to fry the tomato too. So we want to cook the tomato so it should be nice and soft. So fry the tomato also for another 2 to 3 minutes. So once you whisk the cooked dal, you should get a very smooth consistency like I showed you in the beginning of the video. That is the consistency we're looking for. Now I'm going to add half of the coriander leaves that we chopped fine. That adds a nice flavor to the bagar. Now mix everything really well and now cover and cook this for about 2 minutes till the tomatoes become nice and soft, so that when you press them down with your spatula, they immediately, become a kind of a paste. They should not be very firm, they should be nice and soft and mushy. So get the tomatoes cooked really, really well. That way you'll get a nice smooth kind of a dal. You won't get, a big pieces of tomato. So this is the consistency of the dal, and this has got the water also that we cook the dal in. So we're going to add the dal along with the water. So always ensure that your dal is nicely cooked. You shouldn't have the actual pieces of dal. It should be very smooth and cooked well. And now just mix everything nicely together. Now since we cooked that 1 cup of dal with 3 cups of water, you don't need to add extra water now. So mix everything nicely. Stir it on a low to medium flame. Now we're just going to add half a teaspoon of red chili powder. Mix in the chili powder well. And now we're going to add some salt to taste. And that's about all the ingredients we're going to add for this dal. This is a very simple and light dal, and it goes really well with some rice and some side dish like any vegetable or any non-veg dish also. Or you can just have this plain dal, rice, some mango pickle and some papad and some salad. So just cook the dal for another 5 to 10 minutes and then garnish it with the remaining fresh coriander that we chopped up fine. And that's it, guys. Your dal gets ready very fast, very quickly, because we've already pre-cooked the dal in the pressure cooker, so you don't need to cook this dal for a very long time. So I'm just going to cover and cook it for another 5 minutes, and that's it. And your lovely dal, your simple dal, is all ready to enjoy. So do try out this recipe and do let me know in the comment section as to how you liked this dal. I'll catch you in my next video, guys. Take care. Bye.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Akshata's Recipes. Well, I've got a lot of requests from my viewers and subscribers to show you all a very simple amti recipe, that is the typical Maharashtrian amti, which goes very well with pori or chapati or even with some steamed rice. Now we prepare it very simply. There's no onions, there's no garlic, there's no ginger. It's just very simple.
So here I've taken 3/4 of a cup of toor dal. You have to wash this thrice under running water really well. And then you get this clear water. Now we're going to soak this for 3 cups of water for at least about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm going to put it into my pressure cooker. First I'm going to add just a little bit of turmeric powder or haldi powder, about 1/4 of a teaspoon, and a little bit of hing or asafoetida, another 1/4 teaspoon. And then we're going to mix it well and put it into the pressure cooker, and also a little bit of salt, and ensure that you have enough water in your pressure cooker or pressure pan. And you're going to cook this for 1 whistle on high and then simmer it for 10 minutes. And then let your cooker cool down completely. In this way, your toor dal will be cooked really well. So first keep it on high fire till you get the first whistle, and then lower your flame to a very low, to the lowest point, and keep it for 10 minutes. So after the dal is cooked, it looks like this, very nice and soft and cooked. You should not be able to see the entire, dal. It should be like this in a very soft and mashed up consistency. And now we're going to take a whisk or a wooden whisk, ideally, and just smash it down completely. It has to be very smooth. There shouldn't be any grains of the dal. Then your amti or your whatever you're making, dal fry or a simple dal, will come out perfectly. Your dal has to be cooked very well. You shouldn't have, grain, actual pieces of dal. And now we'll just prepare this amazing amti. It's very simple, very few ingredients, no onion, no ginger, no garlic, nothing, required, just very simple. So here I've taken my pan and I'm just going to heat about 2 teaspoons of oil. You don't require lots of oil. And once your oil is nice and hot, we're going to start putting in the mustard seeds. So I'm using about half a teaspoon or 1/4 of a teaspoon of mustard seeds. When the mustard seeds begin to splutter, you're going to add half a teaspoon of cumin or jeera seeds. Next, 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida or hing, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, and a few fresh curry leaves. Now we're going to give all of this a nice mix. And now we're going to add the dal. Be careful because everything splutters. First add a little and then add the remaining. And then we're going to add some water. Now the water depends on how thick or how thin you want the dal to be, or the amti to be. And now we'll add a little bit of chili powder, say about 1 teaspoon, depending on how spicy you want. If you want to reduce the spiciness, just add half a teaspoon of chili powder. And this is my homemade goda masala. I'm adding about 2 teaspoons. You can add even more. And then you're just going to mix everything really, really well. Next goes in some salt, but remember we had put salt when we were preparing the dal, so just keep it in mind. Add just a little less salt according to taste. And then we're going to add the gur or the jaggery or the jaggery. And that's it. All those are the main ingredients. All we're left with is just some coriander to garnish. And now the main thing is to cook everything really well on a very low flame for at least 10 to 12 minutes till everything comes together. And you'll get this beautiful aroma of the amti, and then you know that it's ready. Now this amti, of course, you have to add a little one more ingredient is the souring agent, which is the tamarind. You can either add tamarind, which I've soaked in some water, or you can add amsol or kokum, say about 5 to 6 kokums, and that gives it a little bit. So this amti has, kind of a sweet, sour, a little spicy, and the goda masala is the main element. All the spices that are there in the goda masala just enhance the flavor of this amti. And then I'm just going to add some coriander leaves. And I let it cook for about 10 to 12 minutes on a low flame, stirring in between. And your amti is all ready. This is best had with some poi or with some bhat, and it tastes really amazing. In fact, it tastes even better on the second and third day as everything really comes together well. So hope you give this recipe a try. Do let me know in the comment section, and I will leave a link to my homemade goda masala. You can try and make it at home, or it's even available in stores. So friends, let's make this delicious palak dal or spinach dal. Now here in a pan, I'm going to be heating 1 tablespoon of ghee. You can also use oil. You can use just half a tablespoon of oil. Now once the ghee is melted, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 tablespoon of very finely chopped garlic or lasun, 1 tablespoon of finely chopped ginger, and 1 green chili, a light green chili, finely chopped. Now we're going to fry all of this really well till the rawness of the garlic, ginger, and green chili goes away. So you should get this lovely aroma of these three, especially the garlic. Now I'm going to add 1 medium onion that I've chopped fine. We're going to mix all of this well and fry the onion well. We're cooking on a low to medium flame. Once your onion gets nice and translucent, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of chana dal flour or besan. Now this is to thicken up this palak dal a bit, give it some, some thickness. So fry this dal or this flour besan as really well. Now we're going to add one small tomato that we've chopped fine. Fry the tomato well along with the rest of the bagar or the fortni. I'm going to add half a cup of water so that everything gets cooked really well. And the tomatoes become nice and soft. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder. Now we've already added green chilies, so you can, if you want to make it more spicy, you can increase the amount of red chili powder, or if you want to make it less spicy, just reduce it. 1 cup of cooked dal. Now I'm using toor dal. You can also use moong dal, you can use masoor dal. And now I'm just going to add half a cup of water. I've already shown you in the video before how to cook dal. Mix everything really well. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of coriander powder or dhania powder, half a teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder. Mix everything in well. Now you can make these powders at home. Just roast the dhania, roast the jeera, and just grind it to a very fine powder. And here I have 1 cup of chopped up spinach leaves or palak leaves. Ensure that you soak your palak leaves in salt water for about 10 minutes, and then take it out, wash it really well, and then chop it up. And then just mix everything really well together. And palak is such a thing that it's just, dissolves and cooks really fast. And then I'm going to add some salt to taste. And a pinch of sugar. You can also add gur or jaggery or jaggery at this point. Again, mix everything really well together. This palak dal. Now I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. This is homemade garam masala. I'll leave a link of how I make it at home. And a little bit of kasuri methi, which is easily available in stores. This just enhances the flavor of this dal. I always have kasuri methi at hand. You add it to most of the Indian dishes and it tastes, it just brings out the taste of the dish even more. And now we're going to make a tadka or a tempering. So again, I'm going to be using ghee. Try to use ghee for the tadka. And then when the ghee is hot, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of very finely chopped ginger and about half an inch of ginger and some red chilies and about 1 or 2 tablespoons of garlic and a little bit of Kashmiri red chili powder. So Kashmiri red chili powder is for the color, it doesn't have any spice in it. And then just turn off the flame and add this to the dal. So this fried chilies and fried garlic just takes this dal to another level. It's really restaurant style, palak dal or spinach dal. And this goes amazingly well with some jeera rice, or you can have it with some roti. I'll leave a link of how I make my rotis at home or my butter naans at home, butter garlic naan. And just mix everything together and your lovely palak dal is ready. All you need to do is just garnish it with some finely chopped coriander leaves. So I hope you give this recipe a try.
Now first we are going to roast some onions. So you can either keep them directly on the flame or on a plate like this. You can apply some oil too.
You can keep turning the onion so it gets evenly roasted, and this takes about 15 to 20 minutes till the onions are nice and soft and cooked well. Now once the onions are nicely done, they look like this and they're very soft. So now I'm going to show you how to peel them. So you just take off the outer peel and only retain the soft part of the onion, the white part, and discard all the peel of the onion. The onion is now cooked very well, so it's nice and soft, and this gives a very different flavor, a very smoky flavor to our garam masalachi amti. This is very crucial and very important to the recipe. So you can just peel them and then later on just slice them or chop them into smaller pieces. So here I'm using about 4 medium-sized onions, applied a little bit of oil on them and roasted them. You can roast them directly on the flame, or if you have a plate like this, you can roast it on that. Now the remaining ingredients. This is our roasted onion. These are about 5 to 6 red chilies. You can use more of them. This is about 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds or dhania. This is 1 tablespoon of jeera or cumin seeds. This is about half a tablespoon of peppercorns. This is sauf. I've used about 1 tablespoon. Then there is a little mix of other spices. This is the cinnamon stick. I've used about 2 pieces, 1 inch each. This is the big elaichi, and then I've used about 9 to 10 cloves or lavang. This is about 8 to 9 pods of garlic or cloves of garlic, and this is 1 entire, we call it wati of dry coconut. You have to grate this, and this is 2 cups of toor dal which I have boiled. I leave the instructions. So first we're going to heat some oil in the pan. I've taken about 1.5 tablespoon. So we're going to add all our spices, starting with our cumin, and we have to fry this very well on a low to medium flame, followed by the dhania seeds or the coriander seeds. Now we're going to add some peppercorns. Fry this well too. Next goes in our sauf. This gives a very lovely flavor to the masala, and then goes our mix of cinnamon sticks, elaichi and cloves. That's why the name garam masala, because you're adding a lot of our beautiful Indian spices. Then goes in some red chilies. You can alter the amount of red chilies depending upon your spice levels. If you want it more spicy, you increase the red chilies. All of this has to really give, get fried very well. You actually have to get the aroma of all these spices. So fry them well, but on a low to medium heat, not on a high flame. Otherwise they will get burnt. So just fry them. You will see the color of the spices darken, and the red chilies also change color to a darker red. Now once you get the nice aroma of the spices, we're going to add our dried coconut. All you have to do is just buy that wati of coconut and just grate it on a regular grater. Now you'll actually get the aroma of the coconut too, along with the spices. It's a beautiful aroma. So fry this a little till the coconut changes color to a little light brown. And then we're just going to cool this down and then grind it in our mixer to a very fine paste. So frying all this very well is very important to our recipe. Now once all our spices have cooled down, we're going to transfer it to our grinder or our mixer. You can see that all the spices have been very well fried, so all the rawness of it goes away and gives a lovely flavor to our dish. Now we are going to add our onions, which we have roasted. Next goes in our garlic or lasoon. We have to grind this raw. So I've used roughly about 8 to 9 flakes, and we're going to grind this to a fine paste. So now we're going to take a big pot to prepare this garam masalachi amti. We're going to add at least 4 tablespoons of oil. Once our oil is nice and hot, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohori or rye. Once this begins to splutter, we're going to add some hing, about half a teaspoon, followed by half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi. Fry this a bit. Now we're going to add this paste which we ground very finely without adding any water. As you can see, it's a very finely ground paste, and the color is so beautiful because of all the spices that we fried, the red chilies, the roasted onion. Now we have to fry this very well on a low to medium flame till the masala or the paste oozes out some oil. So we're going to fry it well. If only you could get the aroma right now, it's just amazing. So you got to fry this for at least 7 to 8 minutes. Then you can see the masala oozes out some oil. That means it's really ready for our next step. This garam masalachi amti goes best with a little bit of butter on top, some lime squeezed on it, and some garam pav or bread loaf. There you can see now, after frying it for about almost 10 minutes, it oozes out some oil. Now I'm going to add a little bit of red chili powder, about 1 teaspoon. If you don't want it very spicy, you can skip the red chili powder. We love spicy food at my place, so that's why I added the red chili powder. Now we're going to add the residue water, that is, when you wash your mixie pot with a little bit of water, you just get the remaining masala that's there. So I'm using that water first. So mix that in well. And now we're going to add boiled toor dal. Like I said, I'll leave the instructions in the description box below as to how I have prepared this toor dal for the dish. And now we're going to give this a nice mix so that the dal and all the masala gets well integrated together. And now we're going to add another 2 big cups of water, because as this dal starts boiling, it starts thickening. So you have to add water. So here I'm adding about 2 big cups of water. And you have to keep on adding a little bit of water as it's gets cooked. And we're going to let this cook for at least 15 to 20 minutes on a very slow flame. Then some salt to taste. This requires a little more salt than normal, so I'm added about 1.5 teaspoon. You can add as per your taste. And like I said, you have to keep adding water because otherwise it thickens up very fast. And keep stirring in between. And here, friends, after boiling the dal for almost 20 minutes on a very slow flame, you get this amazing consistency. So friends, let's see today's katachi amti. Now here I've taken 2 cups of chana dal, washed it really well and soaked it in 3 cups of water for 6 hours. After 6 hours, I'm going to pressure cook this for 1 whistle on high and then simmer it or keep it on a low flame for 15 minutes. Now once it completely cools, I'm going to put it into a colander or a sieve like this with a vessel down, and I'm going to cover it with a lid and put some heavy weight on it for about 4 to 5 hours till all the water drains out. Now this water which collects we're going to use for our katachi amti, and the chana dal we're going to use to make puran and puran puri. So this is the dal water that we collected, which we are going to use for our katachi amti. Now besides that, we have other few ingredients. Let me take you through the ingredients. These are 4 dried red chilies or Kashmiri chilies, 1 tablespoon of dry coconut which is grated, 1 tablespoon of dhania seeds or coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of cumin or jeera seeds, about 15 peppercorns. This is about 4 cloves or lavang and half an inch of cinnamon or dalchini. So these are our spices. Now I'm just going to dry roast these spices in a pan on a low to medium flame, just stirring them so that they get evenly roasted. And keep roasting them for about a minute till the color of the grated coconut changes to a light brown. Now keep your flame on low to medium. Don't do it on a high flame, otherwise your coconut will get burnt. So roast this till you get the lovely aroma of all the spices. It will look like this, and let it cool down completely. Then we're going to transfer it to our mixer jar. Use a dry mixer jar. Ensure that the mixer jar is completely dry, and then we're going to put all these roasted spices into our mixer jar, and we are going to grind this to a very fine powder. So our powder should look like this. Now you can set this powder aside in a small bowl, and then we'll continue with the amti. Now I've taken a pan and I've added my dal water to the pan, and I'm going to heat the pan. Now to this dal water I'm going to add 5 amsulas or kokums, 1 tablespoon of gur or jaggery. I'm going to stir this and I'm going to bring this to a gentle boil till the jaggery dissolves. Just keep on stirring till the jaggery or the gur dissolves. It should take you about a minute or so till all of the jaggery dissolves. Now once the jaggery dissolves, we're going to add 1.5 teaspoon of goda masala. Now this is my homemade goda masala. I will leave a link to the recipe below. And now I'm going to add all our roasted and ground spice powder that we just prepared. I'm going to add that. See how the color of the amti changes, and as it boils it will thicken and it will also become a nice dark brown color. Now we're going to add some salt to taste. Now you can add a little more water also if you want it to be very fine and watery. It's up to you. And now we're just going to mix in the salt and let this mixture, this dal, come to a gentle boil on a low flame. You can keep on stirring in between. So let this boil. Now you can give it a taste to see if you want to add some more gur or some more salt. So let it come to a boil and just keep on stirring it in between. Now, this is an amazing and delicious recipe, and it's mostly had during Holi because you make the puran podi or the puran, and the water is left over. You don't want to get rid of the water, so you can make this beautiful amti. And now all we have to do is give a tadka or a fodni or some tempering. So I've taken my kadla or my tempering pan, and to that I've added 1 tablespoon of oil, and I'm going to make it nice and hot. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, which is called muri or rai. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga once the mustard seeds begin to splutter. And I'm also going to add half a teaspoon of haldi or turmeric powder. Now I'm going to add a few curry leaves, about 7 or 8 curry leaves. And I'm going to let the curry leaves fry, and then I'm going to turn off the heat of the tempering. Then I'm going to bring my dal back on, but I'm not going to put the flame on. The heat is off of the dal. All we have to do is now add this hot tempering into the dal. And that's it, guys. Your lovely katachi amti is ready. Just mix up the tempering so that it evenly, gets mixed with the amti, and your katachi amti is all ready. So it's delicious. Do try it out, guys. Also try out my puran pori recipe or the plain puran. I'll leave all links below. I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.